Welcome to the Parenting Roundabout podcast for the week of November 29th, 2021. We're back! Did you miss us? I'm Terry Morrow, and I'm here with Nicole Eridix.
Hello.
And Catherine Haleko.
Hi.
Every week, we can chat about the things parents are talking about, complaining about, and obsessing about right now. This week, we're complaining about cars and obsessing about family splurges. We also take a couple of breaks for an entertainment discussion and a recommendation roundup. Today, we are talking about podcasts for kids. The Wondery Podcast Network sent us a lengthy list of the podcasts they produce for kids, and my first thought was, there's podcasts for kids? Who knew? Our kids grew up in the old days before this was an option, back when mom wasn't even listening to podcasts. But if it had been, what kind of podcasts would have been helpful or fun for them? I'll tell you, I would have paid money for a podcast that had somebody reading whatever my daughter's reading assignment was for that day, so I could do other things and not have to sit and read things to her. I used to read things into a tape recorder so she could listen to them as she was falling asleep at night, so it would help her to remember stuff. Somebody would have podcasted that. I would have hired somebody to podcast that if I knew that had been a thing. If you just, I guess that's more books on tape than, do we say books on tape anymore? Man, am I old.
Mm-hmm.
In the old days, children, you see, you'd have a cassette. Audible should think about that. Check with every elementary school in the land, get all their assignments, do audiobooks for all of them, and charge parents like $100. I would pay. But in terms of podcasts, I don't know. What would your kid be interested in sitting and listening to, if anything?
Oh, my son would just be absolutely happy listening to random facts all day.
Oh, that's true.
Random facts 24/7. Honestly, through the day, we'll get at least 10 to 12 texts with just random facts. Most of them these days are related to what he's learning in medical school.
Right.
Like, what was the last one he sent? Oh my gosh, it was just bizarre. Oh, something about how a broken heart is actually a real thing because the stress that the heart goes through when a loved one passes away actually can do the other person in. So he had the whole, background to that.
Those are med student fun facts.
So he's full of fun facts. In fact, he's so full of fun facts that he submitted a fun fact to a popular podcast, and it was read on the podcast a couple months ago as a fun fact. And then because what they do is readers send in these facts, and then the podcast hosts discuss it. And so there was a whole discussion around my son's fun fact.
Wow.
So yes.
So clearly he needs to start a fun fact podcast for kids.
He really does.
With all his free time.
Yes.
Yes. That copious amounts of free time.
Tell them how lucrative podcasts are, though, Nicole.
Right. He could pay for his med school.
Not get enough to pay a cup of coffee.
A cup of coffee. I think at this point, though, he'll take anything.
That's right.
He's so broke. Poor guy. Anyway. Yeah.
Yeah. My son would be all over the fun facts as well. He is quite a source of those as well. Mm-hmm. So he'd be into that. And anything that's about animals. I mean, it's not a visual medium. So I guess we can't be doing like cute puppies or whatever, but just facts. That's fine. That will hold his attention for sure. But then, of course, the risk is that he's like Nicole's son and repeats it to you. You're like, just listen to the podcast and keep that information tucked away.
And when you're in bed, honey, I'll listen to it and then I'll know it too. So you don't need to tell me. Don't ruin it.
Right.
Don't spoil it.
Exactly. Yes. My daughter would do like inspirational stuff. She for sure that's the kind of YouTube stuff that she often still watches and listens to, just like people talking about their lives and how they have overcome obstacles or whatever it is. She's into that for sure. And I mean, I think you could do that for, like, obviously she's not a child anymore, but I could see that working for kids.
Yeah.
Depending on how you do it.
Yeah, my daughter is big into the Chicken Soup book, so she likes that inspirational stuff too.
Yeah.
But when she was a kid, if there had been a podcast of like advice on understanding your peers aimed at kids, that might have been nice. When a person does this thing, they are not your friend.
Right.
When a person does this other thing, here's what you should say. So, here is the appropriate etiquette for the playground.
Almost like a social stories podcast.
Yes, exactly. Yeah, social cues and social stories. Yeah, that would have been very good. Get some Disney Channel star to voice it.
Yeah,
and that would have been really helpful.
Yeah.
I can't think of anything my son would have sat still to listen to. Maybe somebody just describing keys.
Exactly. I was going to say something about keys.
Just say this is the like name 5 keys and then jingle them, and he would have maybe listened and memorized that.
Right.
I don't know, but also there should be a podcast that would give your child gentle advice on how to please the parents. This is what your mother would like you to do.
Yeah, but you can't, couch it that way. You got to come up with some other more subtle prompts there.
Yeah. Darn. That would not work. But
yeah.
Here's a cool thing to do. Here's what all the cool kids are doing.
Right.
Putting their dishes away, making their beds, taking a shower. Are you cool? Do you do those things? Go do them now. That would not be right.
I think my daughter would have appreciated a podcast on Apple products.
Oh,
yeah. all the latest and hacks for the iPhone and just various, getting to know your laptop type thing. I think she would have really enjoyed that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Same thing that adults like to listen to, only like done on a kid's level.
Right.
I wonder if there would have been, you have so many celebrities getting into podcasting now. If like kid celebrities had done them back then, if you could have had like the equivalent of Tiger Beat magazine, except it was a podcast, and all the squealable teen idols were talking directly to you.
I feel like your ears. That would be a hit.
That would be a
hit. Oh yeah.
They're talking right to me. I would have listened to that when I was a kid. Danny Bonaducci speaking through through my earphones. I'd have been in heaven.
Rob Lowe.
You can
get Rob Lowe now.
I know.
Twice. He has 2 podcasts
I know.
at least.
And he's gonna be in person at a casino just down the road from me.
Oh my.
Should I scratch that teenage
you should
itch to
to be in the presence of Rob Lowe.
To be in the presence of Rob Lowe.
Yeah, and then come back and tell us all about it. Tell him you have a podcast and ask him if you would like to be a guest.
Is this going to be?
He seems to enjoy
work-related expense? Can I write it off?
Maybe he could spare some of the ads he has on his podcast and share them with us, because he's got more than enough over there.
He sure does.
Seems right. Maybe he could pay us to be on our podcast.
Remember when he retweeted me? Or no, he liked my tweet, didn't he?
Did he?
That? That's my claim to fame.
Teenage Nicole just floated up into the air with hearts all around her head.
So good. Yeah, I think podcasts that were, supported learning, but without that kids knowing. Well, you have to do it in a way that the kids will not quite know what's going on.
Yeah.
Well, that's like the reading ones that you mentioned.
Terry. That's true. Have some cute boy singers say, let's talk about math. You and me.
1 + 1.
There you go. Oh dear. If our kids knew that we were suggesting these at all, they would immediately reject them.
Well, yes, absolutely.
But
that's why they have to come from an outside source.
Yes.
I definitely think you're onto something with the celebrity options.
Yes.
Sure.
Yes. A whole new outlet for all those kids who are wasting their time on Instagram. Come on, do a podcast. All you influencers, you.
Yes. On Instagram or TikTok.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, TikTok is basically a 1-minute podcast, right?
That's right.
Yeah.
I have never actually gone on TikTok. That's how old I am.
You're kind of missing out, actually.
Yeah. I see people repost TikTok things on Instagram, and then I see them. That's as soon as I get.
Are you on TikTok yet?
No, not really. Except for all of the times my son's phone is shoved in front of my face. Watch this. Look at this. It's so funny. Look at this. Maybe that's what we need, the parent podcast that's like a digest of the important TikToks you need to know about.
This is what your kid needs.
I have learned so much from TikTok. Honestly, I have learned so much from TikTok. I'm not gonna lie. So we could have I think kids would like a TikTok podcast.
There you go.
Parents would like that too.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I did. I've learned.
Here's what you need to know. Definitely. Well, we're full of ideas and suggestions for the wonderies of the world. But we're going to stop it there for today's round 1. Tune in tomorrow for our entertainment themed round 2, and later in the week to find out what we're complaining about, obsessing about, and recommending right now. We're always interested in what you have to say, so drop us a comment on our website, our Facebook page, or Twitter, where you'll find us at Roundabout Chat.